In 2011, Japan was hit by the most powerful earthquake in its history. Over the years, the people who experienced this event firsthand have uploaded the footage they took on YouTube. We're going to travel back to March 11th, 2011, but before we do that, I'm only going to say this once. The footage will get more intense as the video goes on, so if at any point you feel like it's becoming too much, please stop watching immediately. Now, let's go back to 2011. That day, everything seemed normal. It was, and still is, impossible for us to predict when an earthquake will hit. The only thing we have to prepare ourselves against an earthquake is a warning system that measures seismic activity and sends out an alarm if it notices an earthquake. However, most of the time this alarm only gives us a couple of seconds to prepare for the incoming earthquake, and that's exactly what happened at 2:46 PM. Tohoku earthquake was the strongest earthquake most people had felt in their lifetime. But the thing is, the shaking lasted for 6 minutes and it came in waves. What we've seen so far is just the first wave. From the second wave onwards, things got insane. The earthquake was so strong that it moved Japan over 2 meters to the east. Moving a whole country takes a lot of power. Enough power that the earthquake actually didn't move only Japan, it shifted the whole Earth on its axis. What's crazy about all of this is that Japan's buildings are so well built against earthquakes that the quake itself didn't do much damage at all. Of course, a lot of the older buildings couldn't handle this strong of a quake, but the newer ones are built from flexible materials that allow them to sway back and forth during an earthquake instead of falling down. It might not look like they're moving much, but trust me, if you're on the top floor of a skyscraper during an earthquake, it's scary as hell. Where the actual damage and danger came from was the tsunami that followed the earthquake soon after. An earthquake happens when the tectonic plates get stuck together. The plates keep pushing against each other slowly while pressure builds up. Eventually, they unstuck and release all that pent-up energy. When the plates flick up like this, it raises the ocean on top of them, which causes a tsunami. You know a tsunami is coming when you see the water suddenly receding.
今この桟橋の足が見えてるってことはかなり引いてるってことですか?
The earthquake pulls the water back into a huge wave, which will then hit the shore quickly afterwards. For most people, it can be hard to understand how much destruction a tsunami can cause until they see it with their own eyes.
白波を立てて、もう道路は信号機も止まって、大渋滞です。ただいま私は小山菓子店の3階にいます。屋上にいます。もうぐちゃぐちゃです。店はぐちゃぐちゃです。車が堤防を越えました。今船も堤防を越えるかもしれない。すげえ。何これ。さっきの人は？さっきの人は？やったー。経験したことありません。これ津波です。完全な津波です。ものすごい勢いです。避難します。早く逃げろ。早く逃げろ。
すごい、木もどんどん倒れていきます。マジだよ。ご主人見ますよ。
うちどこ？流されてんじゃない？もう家まで流されてる。家が流される。家が流されます。
すごい勢いで流れていきます。
家が流されてる。家が流されている。家が流されているところがあります。
町が完全に破壊されました。津波によって町が完全に破壊されました。
In less than an hour, multiple cities across Japan were completely wiped out by the tsunami, and tens of thousands of people lost their lives. In some towns, more than half of the people got swept away by the black water. Those who survived were stuck on top of buildings without any way to get out, since the water had destroyed every chance to escape. Those survivors had to spend the following days in the cold, hoping to be rescued without knowing if their relatives were safe. For that day, rest of Japan was quiet, and all people could do was to walk home.
現在11時、河北新報のビルの屋上です。海が燃えてます。本当涙出てくるんですけども。
It is important to remember that almost every person in these videos lost someone they loved. A parent, a child, a friend. Even those who survived faced unimaginable grief, and many are still rebuilding their lives more than a decade later. The reason they shared their footage with the world was to remind people to not underestimate the power of nature and to seek safety fast, so that nobody else had to lose what they had lost. This footage isn't just a recording of destruction, it's a statement to human spirit and its resilience. We must work together and help those who have trouble getting back up by themselves.